I'm back. Today we're playing a game that I had downloaded a long time ago. I don't remember anything about it, but it's called I Nima. Whenever you first get this game, just go to the settings because it's so loud. I turned this down, and even I feel still too loud. But I want you guys to get the full experience. And I am Nima. Dark, cold, endless, and utterly serene. The perfect undulating prison for you to spend eternity. An irritating yet familiar voice scratches at your brain, and you find yourself violently awoken by a mysterious figure. It worked. You're breathing. The air is cold and stagnant. The walls that surround you provide the room with a distinct lack of natural light. You're underground. Dozens of boxes are overflowing with trinkets brought a strange sense of comfort. Are we kidnapped? That comfort dissipates as you realize you're tied to a chair you're sitting in. A bungee cord holds your head up. This is some wild... Okay, what are we in? I feel like we're gonna get lobotomized. The stranger stands across the room, hesitating to approach. Nima, is that you? Words in your brain can be combined to unlock new words. Who is Nima? Am I Nima? Just tell her whatever she wants to hear. All words are stored in your library after they're unlocked. When you're done, words can be dragged from your brain down to your mouth to unlock new dialogue options. Mom? We're not giving Nima a voice. We're not going to give her a voice. What's going on? Wait, yes. It's all coming back to you now. You're Nima Lee. And this is your mother, Annabelle Lee. Why is she named Annabelle Lee? Why? Are we an Edgar Allan Poe fan here? Because now I'm starting to get that vibe. Mom breathes a sigh of relief and smiles. Oh, thank God. I thought I'd lost you. She excitedly steps forward, but stops herself just short of throwing her arms around you in an embrace. She pauses. Lost me? Mom shudders. Let me bring you some food first. You must be starving. Yeah, we're totally starving. But also forget the fact that we're tied to a chair in a basement. Totally. Mom exits the basement, excitedly clambering her way up the stairs. I hope she trips and cracks her skull. Thanks, Mom. A sopping wet bowl of slop is gently presented to you. Oh God, there's a fishbone in there. I like this basement. This is a nice basement. Our mom looks nuts, but this is a nice basement. The odor, reminiscent of wet dog and dirty socks, is maxed by an overwhelming amount of soy sauce. Your nose begins to shrivel like a worm left out in the sun. Mom unties your hands, but leaves your waist and head fastened to the chair. With some effort, you can now eat your gruel. You place a small dull spoon in your now free hand. She's even uglier up close. I'm trying to think of another voice to do for the really special little font. Okay, Nima. Before you eat, we need to have a little talk. There was an accident. Your memories may have been affected, and I want to ensure you're okay before everything goes back to normal. You're going to be living and sleeping in the basement for now. Can you untie me? You're tied up for your own safety. If you fall unconscious, I don't want you to fall and hurt yourself. Just follow her rules and then we'll be free. You're not a prisoner. This is just a controlled environment for you healing, okay? You look at the bowl of food and then back up at her. You try to nod, but your head just bounces in your binds. Alright, so starting tomorrow, I'm going to be bringing you items. I want you to think of how those items make you feel, if they bring back any memories. For now, let's start with something simple as an example. She takes the bowl of gruel and pushes it towards you. What does this congeeth make you think of? You can start to eat while we talk if you like. I feel like our mom gave us a lobotomy. Can we drag it to our mouth, please? I would like to drag it to our mouth. Why is it staying in our brain? You hesitate, looking down at the bowl and back at her. Although she claims there are no wrong answers, you know that is not true. She's looking for a specific response. See where those trains of thought lead you. Tell me what you're thinking about. We're just thinking ew. Despite every fiber of you being screaming at you not to, you bravely force a single spoon of piping hot congee down your throat. Overwhelmed by the pungent taste of Mom's unconventional methodology of cooking, you spit it back out. Better to starve to death than endure another mouthful of this over-seasoned nightmare. I think I found the voice for the special font. Unsurprisingly, Mom looks away in shame and apologizes for the culinary travesty before you. I guess my cooking hasn't improved then. I'm sorry, Mom. I can't eat this. You have to eat something. Can we order takeout? She cringes. The notion of spending money on greasy fast food when there's perfectly fine congee at home seems to cause her physical anguish. You know what? I have some Burgess Burger coupons upstairs. I've been saving them for a special occasion. We determined if she'll remember to actually do this. She's going to feed us, right? You yawn. The bowl of congee certainly chased away your appetite. Now you'd prefer to find a nice den to crawl inside and sleep. Mom sets the bowl aside and lets out a long sigh. She stares at you intently, preparing for something. How much of the accident do you remember? You shake your head. Something just came to you, but as far as you're concerned, everything that happened before you woke up in this basement feels like a dream. You were swimming. You hit your head. You're lucky I was able to rescue you. You clutch your head as a bolt of pain travels to the top of your cranium down your spine. Ow. Likely story. A memory surges to you. You recall looking up at your mother's stony face. In her hand, she clutches a small sharp knife designated to cut through flesh and organs. Your mother looks worried as she reaches out to console you. You recoil away from her. Maybe we should talk about this later. Tomorrow, the real tests will begin. You pass those, and you're free to leave the basement, and everything can return to normal. How am I supposed to pass if I can barely remember anything? I suppose it's only fair if you have a chance to ask me some questions in return. There's a shuddering pain racking your brain. You're almost spent for the day. Choose your next words carefully. I got hurt while swimming. You feel like you don't trust that explanation. You went swimming by yourself and hit your head on a rock. I told you not to go because the current was strong, but you didn't listen as usual. You were lucky I found you when I did. Really? Yeah. Her voice is tinged with regret. She's lying to you. Your eyelids are growing heavy, but you're running out of energy. Anything else you want to ask me about? Did I die in the accident? No. You were in a coma. Let's not worry about that right now, okay? You yawn, and your mother takes notice. Nima, sweetie, don't you think it's time to go to bed? I just have one more question. Okay, what do you want to ask me? All of it's just pain. Pure pain. I remember you hurt me. Mom flinches. You can tell you've struck a nerve. She begins to tremble. Nima, honey, I know I'm not always present, but I would never. You have a second memory come to you. You are trapped in an abyss, eyes shut and disconnected from your brain. You can feel your mother holding your hand. No, play dumb. Sorry, Mom. I'm confused. Mom relaxes a little, although she doesn't let go of the Barbie stuck in her. Lately, I've been prioritizing my work over you, and that's not fair. It's different now, I promise. That doesn't mean I've ever actively wanted to hurt you. Actively? Actively? So you've passively been wanting to hurt us. Okay. Passively. But I can't deny you've been hurt because I've not been there for you when you needed me. The conversation trails off. You're both unwilling to look at each other. The pain surging through your brain terminates with a sudden pull of the plug. Your eyes cut to blindness, and then you feel your body fall forward to be caught by the ropes fastening you to the chair. You flicker in and out of consciousness as rogue bolts of electricity wiggle your neurons. Mom hums a familiar song. A pair of tender arms bear the full weight of your malnourished and sickly form. You were lowered onto a lumpy mattress, tucked in routinely and without indulgence. Whoever carried you here was hesitant to do so. Her acts of mothership seem little more than a performance. Despite that, you feel a gentle hand lovingly caress the side of your face, and once again the world goes dark. I still feel like we got a lobotomy. Ugh, my head hurts. This is my room. I barely remember it. Was it always this lumpy? I was his child and I was her child. Can I get rid of words? Ooh, that's a new word. Hmm. You recall a day in the summer that could have been any day. You're alone in the baking heat of your house waiting for your mother to return. The AC broke at some point. Now you hide from the light, drawing all the curtains tight and clutching a small whirling fan in your hand. In this darkness and heat, you shuffle around like a ghost, cleaning dishes over and over just for something to do to pass the time. You wet your hands in lukewarm water, then stick them in the back of the freezer. Most of all, you wonder what you did wrong, what you did to deserve this loneliness. Suddenly you hear your doorbell, and you half slide, half run your way to the door. At the door, instead of your mother, you find Pearl. She smiles at you and offers you a bag filled with sports drinks, cold food, and ice cream. Hello, Nima. I brought you some things for you and your mother. You were sad to tell the retirement home you couldn't work there anymore. Your mother needed your help more. Now you and Pearl had your roles switched, and you started looking after you instead of the other way around. It was strange, considering she was nowhere near your age, but you wondered if this was what us having a friend felt like. Thanks, Pearl. You greedily took the bag from her and extracted a package of cold peas. You balanced them on the top of your head to relieve the baking sensation on your brain. You want to come in and play a board game? We have chess, checkers, and mahjong. Oh, I always have time to beat you at mahjong. Is your mother home? She's at work right now. You're not with her? I thought you were at her lab assistant. I am. She comes back here once in a while and I give her a new lunchbox and a change of fresh clothes. True to her word, she won at mahjong and won again as you tried to regain your honor. That's all? You just hand off supplies and she leaves? I thought she was taking you up the mountain. Yeah, but that was before. The image of the shale fossil still lingered in your mind. But there you found it. You were so happy you couldn't get yourself to stop smiling. And when you looked down, you swore you could see the fossil smiling back. You stopped yourself. She already took me. Nothing interesting happened. Just saw a bunch of rocks. Oh, really? Nothing interesting at all? You shake your head vigorously. You can't risk upsetting your mother any more than you already have. Fine, but if you ever feel like gossiping, old Pearl's always here to listen. You return to silently playing board games. You remember that she got up in the middle of a game and went over and kicked your AC. You were horrified, but somehow that fixed it. It came sputtering back to life. You were able to turn the lights back on. More than that, you're able to run the oven without the heat spilling out to bake the whole room. You make cookies together, swap stories, and plan a trip to Vancouver you'd never be allowed to take. For a moment, she freed you from the heat and the isolation. If only he were here to save you now. Predator. Are you awake? Yes. You heard her undo a series of deadbolts, opening the door only a crack, were to be caught by the chain lock and held nearly closed. She studies you. She closes the door. You hear her undo the last chain and open the door again. You didn't clean yourself up. The bathroom door was locked. I'll go to mirror thoughts for a moment. She pounds her head with the palm of her hand. She gestures for you to go sit at the table while she retreats into your room and locks the bathroom. Quick, lock her in. You hesitate, weighing the risk of trapping your mother in your prison. She returns quickly and efficiently. We should have trapped her! Your bathroom is unlocked. She doesn't take note of you, passing by to ascend the stairs in a staccato of thumps and exits the basement. You fidget in your wondering if you did something to upset her. She's not buying it. She returns, trundling clumsily down the stairs. She holds the railing to keep herself steady. In her other hand, she carries a large tote bag bulging with skin-sealed items. All right. She calms down a bit and smiles placidly at you. Good morning, Nima. Good morning. Don't forget to call her Mom. Did you sleep well, Mom? No. Disgusting. She's even wearing the same clothes from yesterday. She looks disheveled. It's unclear if she slept at all. Are you feeling any pain? Yesterday our conversation ended rather abruptly. Your vitals are stable and you seem to have made a full recovery. Yes, I'm feeling well. Good. She flips up a notebook and makes note of that response. How was your sleep? Any interruptions or strange dreams? lie to her. Nope. She flips her notebook closed and the fake smile returns into a real one. You're going to do better today, right? Today is going to be a little different from yesterday. With me, I have some items. All you need to do is tell me how they make you feel. Can you do that for me? Yes. She places a plushie of a shark upon the table in front of you. For some reason, it evokes unfamiliar feelings within. Nostalgia, sorrow, and most intriguingly, love. Now, is there anything this reminds you of? The effigy of the predator is cast in the guise of a pillow. Perhaps the wolf in sheep's clothing. But stay on your guard. Why did you choose this to test me? I can't tell you that. It would ruin the test. Did you get me this? No. I thought the otter was cuter. What? This guy is so cute, though. Your mother rolls her eyes. Yeah, that's what he said, too. I'll have a good response for this. That's the toy cat got for me at the aquarium. Can we go? Can we get tickets? Yes. Let us out of this bowl. It's not really a good time for that right now. Aw, man, promise we'll go sometime, okay? Just like how we used to when Dad was still around. Memories of your father's embrace fill your mind. He's no longer with you, but the plushie still connects the two of you together. Maybe after we're all done here. Does that sound good? Yeah. Okay. Mom lets out a melancholic chuckle. It's funny, you used to bring this thing everywhere with you. I remember you never let me take it from you, even to wash it. You really used to say it was starting to look more like a catfish than a shark. He even considered buying a second one to switch out so we could clean it when you weren't looking. Hey, he never did, don't worry. After he passed, you were even more inseparable. You wanted to hold on to anything that reminded you of him. You and Mom share a moment of nostalgic silence, reminiscing on the warmth of a face that fades more and more into memory every single day. Mom lovingly plants her hand on your cheek. Why is it like half the time it's in all caps? I'm just glad I didn't lose you both. Okay, Nima, let's unmove to something else. She pulls out a chunk of rock with a strange formation entombed on its surface. There's a prismatic glow at the rock. An opalite skeleton frozen in time, then cracked open like an egg. Mom hesitates, unsure if she should show you this thing. Still, she places it on the table and pushes it towards you. What does it remind you of? A rumble in the basin and mud raining down from the sky, then a sudden blanket of earth pulled across you from somewhere far below beyond your vision. You're pretty sure that's what it would be like to be buried alive. Nima, what does this remind you of? A rock. It's not just a rock. It's an important rock. Why do you think it's important? We're gonna have to start searching words at this point. This is one of the fossils that you study for work. You're reminded all the time your mom spends in her office toiling away at descriptions and classifications for fossils like these. A job that takes up so much of her time yet pays so little. You're working with these bottles pretty much all the time. You wrote books about them. Do you remember this one's name? When you look at this fossil, the only thought that comes to your head is that it looks like a silhouette of a shadowed man. There's something about it that calls to you, as if the shape of the stone is the perfect shape to fit you. You have desire to crawl inside the stone and become entombed within it. No. Morella splendens. That's alright, it's not important right now. You sigh, she constantly testing you on this useless shite. The small spark of anger unlocks a treasure trove of hidden resentment you held for your mother and her work. How much she offloaded onto you in order to prioritize her research. Kind of a waste of time. What? What's that? You spent the whole summer down here obsessing over things that have been dead for millions of years. You touched a nerve with that. She reacts by balling her fists. Steel veil crosses over her eyes. You spoiled brat, you can play and do nothing all summer. Maybe to you this looks like I'm wasting my time, but all this work I've done so we can fix our family. You shouldn't have said that. Why not? It's the truth. Play? You didn't let me go outside. I felt like I was in prison. You had to learn your lesson. What lesson? Ayo? You really shouldn't have said that. I don't think we should continue talking about this. I want to focus on happy memories today. You are my good and happy daughter, Nima. She speaks as if she's reminding herself who you are, but the tone is clearly suggesting that you've begun to wander off the script she set out for you. Ayo. And how the music just like mysteriously stops at some points. What lesson, Mom? Don't get all righteous with me as if it's my fault we ended up like this. You're the one who betrayed my trust. You're the one who put this entire experiment in jeopardy. I was ready to forgive you, for us to go back to the way things were, but it seemed you're too spiteful to move on. You're not, Nima. Nima would never act like this. Nima would never question me like this. That's it. It's time for bed. Your mom grits her teeth to hold herself back from speaking further. Gruffly, she picks you up by your arms and hauls you back to your room. She passes you across the threshold of the door and then quickly closes the door behind you. You hear her voice muttering something about controlled stimulus as she stomps away from the door and begins to ascend the stairs out of the basement. Bro, is she doing some weird, mental experiment on us? You messed up, pushed her buttons too much. She doesn't love you anymore. You banish the errant thought from your mind. After the interrogation today, you want nothing else but the comfort of the bed. You find yourself awake in bed. There are heavy weights on your arms. You try to wiggle, and your arms push against a series of tight ropes that bind you still. The hell? I told you she doesn't like failure. Your mother enters the room, wiping a small steel pick with an antiseptic tissue. I told you early on. Lobotomy. You're awake? I didn't use enough anesthesia. You try to scream, but you discover your mouth is gagged. That's fine. You won't need it. Leans over you, placing her knee on your stomach to pin you and grip your face with a clawed hand. The pick inches closer to your eye. Don't blame yourself. It's my fault, really. Something must have went wrong with the procedure for you to come out like this. She begins to caress your cheek. Her hands are trembling ever so slightly, but that's okay. Okay, I'm not gonna look at this, but like, damn, our mom's giving us a lobotomy. There was always next time. You feel the blade scrape past your socket and push into the nerves of your brain. Your life terminates with a pop as she severs your brain in half. Suddenly it's dark. Dark, cold, endless, and utterly serene. You spend an eternity in this darkness until a familiar voice. Nima, is that you? Damn, I was right. Yep. Our mom gave us a lobotomy. Crazy. Wonder why she gave us a lobotomy. It'll definitely be interesting to learn more. If you guys want to play this game, it's free on Steam. I don't know if the full game has come out yet, but you guys can look for yourself. I'll leave it in the description below.